Hello Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And again, welcome to the latest episode of Captain's Commpod. Welcome and thank you for coming back. On this episode we are here again with the Is Dark Tidings Any Good At series, episode 3 of that series, and on this episode we're going to find out, is Dark Tidings any good at recursion? So we're going to be talking about cards that bring back cards from your discard pile and either add them to your hand, add them to your deck, add them to your archive, put them directly into play, or actually play them. Obviously that is a very useful aspect of the game. Some houses seem to be better at it than others. As ever, we're going to talk about how many cards there are in the set that do it. We will talk about their rarity, how many cards in other sets did it, and how the number of Dark Tidings relates to that. A couple of things in terms of how the cards fare, what they seem to be either good at or bad at, and then sort of once we've looked through all that information, as ever, I will say, well, either yes or no, I do or do not think that Dark Tidings is any good at recursion. So yes, that is what we're going to have a look at on today's episode. Again, there will be other ones of these. Some topics are going to be a little bit more harder and in-depth to deal with than others though. So I'm sort of still deciding which order we're going to take them in. But anyway, so in Dark Tidings there are 19 cards that bring back a card from your discard pile and put it either into your hand, your deck, your archive, or play. Okay, of those 19 cards, 13 of them are new cards that we've never seen before and are just Dark Tidings only, and 6 of those cards are reprinted from other sets. So, I mean, it's almost like 3 to 1. It's not a bad number. So, as we've seen before, Dark Tidings has 429 total cards within the set. The Tide card is included in that. Maybe I should have taken it out. And 19 cards is about 4%. So, it's not a massive number. But as we go on and look at the house breakdown, which we're going to do next, you're probably going to want these. You're going to want specific houses to trigger this. So Shadows and Star Alliance both have no cards whatsoever that take a card out of your discard pile and put it somewhere else in this set. I couldn't find anything, which is a bit of a surprise for Star Alliance because they could do it in other sets. Sanctum have 1. It allows you to play a Sanctum creature out of your discard pile. And Saurian have 1 card as well in the set, and theirs is a Reap, and you take something out of your discard pile and put it in your hand instead. Then we go on to Unfathomable. They have 2 cards that are capable of bringing a card back from the discard pile. The next one is Logos. Maybe they're trying to take over a little bit from Dis in this area, because Dis always seem to be good at this. Logos have got 6 cards that bring back a card out of your discard pile and put it somewhere else. And then top of the shop, as they say in British Bingo, we've got Untamed with 9 cards that will bring a card back from your discard pile in some way, shape or form into either your archive, your hand, your deck, or play. Okay, so we'll now have a look at the recursion cards from each set in terms of which had the lowest, which had the highest, and we'll start with the lowest. So have a go. Which one do you think was the lowest? Well, I can tell you that Worlds Collide was the lowest. Worlds Collide had 14 cards that dragged a card from your discard pile and brought it back some way, shape or form. So that was the least. Then next, again, I'll have a go, shout it out, was Call of the Archons. 17 cards in Call of the Archons would bring back a card from the discard pile and put it somewhere else and hopefully get you the ability to play it again. Then in joint second with 18 cards, Mass Mutation and Age of Ascension. So both of those sets had 18 cards that would recur a card, bring it back, and hopefully then give you the potential to play it again. So they we'll see at the top Dark Tidings with its 19. So Dark Tidings has more cards in the set that bring cards back from discard than any set we've ever seen before in KeyForge. So that's a good omen for me turning around and saying, well, yes, this is good at it. But we will also, to truly understand that, need to look at rarity. So we'll do that now. We will look at the rarity of these cards that we're talking about, these 19 cards in Dark Tidings. So, okay, the first is common. There's one common card. That's mildly disappointing that there's only one common card that brings the stuff back. Possibly would have liked to see more. It's Witch of the Dawn, by the way, is your one common card. There are both 2 Evil Twin cards and 2 fixed rarity cards. Fixed rarity are the ones that connect with a group of other cards that will bring cards back out your discard pile and then put them somewhere else. Okay, then we've got 6 uncommon cards. Now that's a good number. So 6 uncommon cards will in some way, shape or form get that card back out your discard pile into somewhere else and hopefully give you the ability to play it again. And that gives us the biggest number, 8 rares. So yeah, it may have more than any other set, but of the 19, 2 of them are Evil Twin, 2 of them are fixed rarity, and 8 of them are rares. There are 7 that you're going to see often, the 1 common and the 6 uncommon. I'll say this though, there are other things it seems to be good at. So there are 5 cards that actually play cards from the discard pile, that let you play them. Logos, think twice. Play an action card from your discard pile, then purge it. So yeah, it's an action card, so not an upgrade, not an artifact, not a creature, but you literally get to play the card again. That's great with Doorstep Heaven, Information Exchange. We haven't got Regrowth in this, have we? But we have got Fertility Chance. There are some good actions in this set that you may well want to trigger again. Okay, the next one is Light Everlasting, which is the only Sanctum card that does this. Play a Sanctum creature from your discard pile anywhere in your battle line. So, kind of like Exhume from this, but it will only work on a Sanctum creature. And also as well, it does automatically give it deploy, because it's anywhere in your battle line. So if you've got a disc creature in your a Sanctum creature in your discard that's got Taunt, this will let you put it right next to the most important creature. So that's quite handy. The next one is one of the rares. It is Omnipus. 8 power creature, can't fight. Play, discard the top 8 cards of your deck. Play each Tentaclid from your discard pile one at a time. So obviously you start discarding cards looking for these Tentaclid cards. And then you can put them into play. But if you know full well you've already discarded them all, well, you still discard the top 8 cards, but then you put all the Tentaclids into play anyway. So yeah, that's what that one is. We've also got Old Paddy, which is one of the Untamed cards. Uncommon, power 5 creature, no armor. Reap, discard the bottom card of your deck or the bottom 3 cards instead if the tide is high. Play each creature discarded in this way. I mean, you could argue I'm being a bit generous there, but it does say you discard them and then you play them. So you are playing them from your discard pile technically. So yeah, that's what that one does. It discards 3 cards, and if the creatures, it lets you play them. And then we've got Witch of the Dawn, power 3 creature, no armor. Play, return a creature from your discard pile to your hand. well, actually, it's the evil twin Witch of the Dawn, because it doesn't put it back into your hand, it puts it into play. So yeah, destroy another friendly creature. If you do, play a different creature from your discard pile, ready and use that creature. So it puts it into play and then lets you ready and use it. I mean, that's great for something like Lieutenant Valmar. I'll play it, I'll ready it and use it, and your key cost is just increased by 3 for each time. Cracking. So those are good there. Now there are 4 cards that actually bring back more than one card, which I think is quite good as well. The first one is Logos Forgive or Forget, which is a choice. Choose one, archive 2 cards of different types from your discard pile, or purge up to 2 cards from each discard pile. So I mean, if you're trying to play Groundbreaking Discovery, that would let you archive the creature and the upgrade if you discard them, which is great, because doesn't matter having the action card. Also, that works really well with the Unfathomable Key cheat as well, to let you get one of the pieces back. Pretty good, that one. So yeah, happy with that. The next one is Omnipus, which I already mentioned. So obviously, if it's playing each Tentaclid from your discard pile, yeah, well, it's playing multiple then, isn't it? So however many are in your discard pile, that's how many are going into play. I haven't got one of those decks, I don't know how good they are, but it's certainly an interesting effect. I'm not unhappy with it being in the game. The next one is an untamed creature, power 2, no armor, Dredging Druid, Reap. If the tide is high, put up to 3 creatures from your discard pile on top of your deck. It's not ideal, I suppose, that they go on top of your deck, because you might want them to go into your hand. Although realistically, if you've got 3 cards in your hand, you're going to draw those 3 cards anyway. That would be great for setting up the next hand. And if you're getting things with great playabilities, like Lieutenant Valmar, for instance, that would be great. And again, we've also had Old Paddy. Old Paddy also does this. So if the tide is high, and you discard, when you do this discard of 3 cards, more than 1 creature, you are going to play more than 1 creature card. And again, it is play them, so any playabilities, again, Old Paddy, bit of a good one. So, well, I think you probably were going to guess that I was going to go yes, based on the fact that there are more cards in this set than we've seen before. Almost half of them are either common or uncommon. You've also got quite a few cards there that actually, not only do they let you get it out of the discard, they let you play it straight away, put it into play. Well, not even put it into play, actually play it, because putting it into play doesn't trigger the playability. Playing it does trigger the playability. There's even a creature that lets you play a creature ready and use it. There's a creature that lets you, well, a couple of creatures that let you put multiple creatures into play. There's a creature that, if you can trigger it by reaping, I mean, it's got to stay alive to do that, but if you reap with that creature, put 3 creatures onto the top of your deck. I mean, you're obviously going to be smart enough to pick the same house, or I would hope you are, otherwise you're just clogging your hand up. But yeah, if you pick the same house and they've got some nice playabilities going in there, that is a lovely card. But as we saw, if you truly want, in Dark Tidings, decks that have got recursion, you're going to be looking for Untamed or Logos, because everyone else is not particularly very good at it. Although I would argue in previous sets, if you wanted recursion, you'd have been looking for Untamed or Dis. I mean, look at this: Arise, Grim Reminder, Not Finished With You, Exhume, Arise, bring back every card from a house into your hand. If you pick this, you play them. Grim Reminder, put all the cards from the house, all the creature cards from a house into your archive. Not Finished With You, put as many creatures as you want back into your deck. Exhume, play a creature. Very good at that. Same with Untamed. You got Regrowth, you got Witch of the Eye, you got Resurgence. Those were the houses that were good at it. So yes, I do feel that this set is good at it, but you are pretty much going to have to find something with Untamed or Logos to do it. So there we go. That is the end of another Captain's Commpod. Do you agree? Do you disagree? As ever, I'd love to hear what you think about it and whether you do or don't agree with me, and the reasons why. We have Facebook, Twitter, email, all that good stuff. So yeah, please feel free to send it over. Also as well, if you want to hear a specific aspect of KeyForge in this series, tell me. You may well get your suggestion next. So yeah, thank you for listening or watching again, whichever you've done. I appreciate it very much. And as ever, may the forge be with you.